Alright, welcome to my attempts to get under 1 minute, an under 1 minute solve on a Rubik's Cube. I haven't decided if I'll leave like this entire video up, like the whole attempt thing, just put something on YouTube. But I have decided, just based on my internet upload speed right now, not to try to stream this. As much fun as that would be, it's just not practical. And then that would be more frustrating than anything. So I may just decide to clip out the solve if I am capable of doing so. Hopefully I will be tonight. Basically what I'm going to do is just a completely random scramble. So there are ways to do it a little bit more efficiently that gives you the exact moves to do it and whatnot. I've kind of noticed that, I mean, you scramble it around enough, enough is accomplished as far as having it all messed up. I cannot possibly remember every move that I've just done to it. I do that on purpose. I rotate it and stuff, so it comes out pretty random. And then I will set it down. When I set it down, I actually don't look at it. I like put my hand on it, so I can't see the screen right now. I'll check it every now and then just to make sure it's still good. That the people watching this are able to see it. But just like there, like I kind of just took a peek at it just to do that. But I'll set it down here. Now I have, according to like official rules, you get 15 seconds to inspect it. I never take anywhere near 15 seconds. I just kind of look for the first things that I'm going to use. I do something, or I'm still kind of stuck to something called beginner method. I only learned this, now it's been 8 days ago that I learned how to do this. So I think, I probably could have gotten to under a minute before that, but with this strategy, I guess, with this solving, I don't know, method, you can only get so much. The thanks for the sub up there, that's Ruger, that's for my Twitch channel. If anybody happens to be watching this on YouTube, that's not just a YouTube sub, it's a Twitch sub, so I appreciate Ruger supporting that. And I really, again, I wish I could stream this, it's just pretty tough to do so. So I got it all scrambled up here. I'm going to take a look at it. I'm going to make sure my timer's working real quick. So because I do this a lot, my timer's actually off, or the attempts are off, but I don't want to remove it just because I think it's kind of cool to have that number there. Like I can look at it and say, okay, I've tried 222 times, and then subtract maybe 10% because it's not actually, each one of those isn't actually an attempt, just like that. So I just wanted to make sure the timer was good, and I believe it is. So again, I'm going to take my 15-ish seconds to inspect it or less, and then I'll get going. So basically I just hit the space bar, start going at it. Again, with the solving method that I'm using, I'm actually hoping for a little bit of luck in addition to performing well as well, like being able to notice things fast and having my fingers work properly. This is also, I'm kind of looking at it now, I'll mix it up a little bit more. This is also an actual Rubik's branded cube. So, I turned off autofocus on this, but I think it's in pretty good shape here. So what that means, put simply, is that this is not meant to like go fast by any means. It's designed to be a toy, and it is in fact a toy. So you kind of have to do a little bit of work to see it. Another thing is I realized with the camera angle that I've kind of selected, my hand covers it quite a bit. And so I just apologize for that in advance. I can't come up with a better angle, to be honest. I think this is good because you can see the end of the spacebar right here. And then for the most part, you'll be able to see what I'm doing as I'm doing it. So again, my hand may get here quite a bit, but I'll try to kind of make it a little more presentable. All right, so one last little mix here, and then I'll get going. I did intend to do the solve from what I had earlier, but just to make sure it's somewhat more legitimate. So from this angle, for the record, I can't see the cube at all. My hand's completely covering it. I'm up here, so. All right, I will take some time. We're 5 minutes into the video now, but finally I'm going to be getting to my first solve here. So, all right, here we go. Okay. Oh no. This isn't going well. Here we go. Okay, I think it's going to be good to just kind of get this one out of the way. And for the most part, unless I just completely ruin it and don't even want to like finish it, I'll finish each run or each solve. That way I can kind of get back to a good... Just get a little practice on the end, because that's where I kind of really need the speed to come in and take something that's close home. So I can tell, you know, I'm already well past my ability to PB, but Alright, so to be honest, just about everything that could go wrong there went wrong. But, I mean, I couldn't solve a Rubik's Cube, what, 8 days ago, and so I just got 126 on what I think is a bad run. I don't think that's so bad. So, I was paying attention a little bit to the screen. As I mentioned, I did want to check it every now and then, but I am going to go ahead and move it away so where I can't see it now. Just to make sure that you could see something. And I know, again, my hand is getting in the way a lot. I just can't imagine any other camera angle would be good unless it was maybe like right over me, but I don't really want that either. Okay, so I'll mix it around. I think the cube kind of comes into picture when I'm doing some particular moves. Like obviously right now, this is kind of my my go-to mixer motion, so to speak, but it's never consistent. I rotate it around as much as I can to just kind of do some random things. Every now and then I'll practice one of the algorithms while I'm mixing it up as well. Alright, so I can't see it as mentioned. I'm going to go ahead and reset the timer here, and I'll go ahead and do the quote-unquote inspection and get going on this run. Run number 2. Alright. Okay. Yeah. Yikes. Come on, man. No, my goodness. Oh, yikes. So, okay. I feel like that one was rough, almost rougher than the second one, and yet it's, what, 11 seconds better? It's so ridiculous. Alright, I need a little water, and also I have paper towels. That way my hands stay somewhat not greasy, because this gets really, like, sweaty, I guess. I don't know. It's easy to slip off of it. All right. Okay. So that has done its job. We'll mix up again. For the record, when I'm mixing, I don't look at it. I have a TV show on. Hopefully you can't hear it. Like, I can kind of sort of hear it, so you probably can too, but I don't think it'll be an issue. They very rarely use anything that's any music that would be copyrighted, and the show itself wouldn't be copyrighted if I'm not actually showing it, I don't think. Like, the audio wouldn't. I don't know. Things that probably don't matter, but I still consider. Alright. The hardest thing is not to look at it, honestly, but I mean, I have some integrity, so I don't do it. I'm not even, you know, I just want to start kind of practicing the things that would be real. So, like, you know, I kind of maybe will buy a speed mat if I decide to start getting into the faster algorithms, but really this is just a goal to get under 1 minute, because I think that would be awesome. I think it'd be really cool to say I've solved a Rubik's Cube in under a minute, and for that to be completely legitimate. Alright, here we go. Here we go. I don't know if it's because I'm filming or what, but there's a lot of things that I can do that I can't seem to do right now. And or am better at when this one's kind of a bust. We'll see though. I hope this isn't the sub-minute, man. That was such a rough start. But that's the funny thing, is like, I'm gonna have a rough start one time, and then it's gonna be it, and I'm just gonna be like, oh, come on, man, really? How much faster could it have been then? But I don't think it'll be. I think we'll be okay. Yikes, dude. I didn't like practice or warm up whatsoever, so this is kind of my warm up. Yeah. I'm curious if I kind of like adopted a way that I really like to handle certain things, and I wonder if that's actually hurting. Because I'm trying to think of that situation specifically. So once I get like the first 2 layers done, it's kind of a crapshoot what's going to be up here, and then what I have to do it. So really, I actually only know one thing to get this top layer solved. Well, 2 things rather. But the problem is that, let's see. Okay, so for example, let's say the bottom 2 layers are solved, and I get this up top. Okay, so that means I have to do something specific that's going to keep the bottom 2 and bottom layer solved, but then it's going to change the orientation of these up here, of the yellows on the top. So, see what I can do here. Okay, so then if I get, let's see. Okay, so if I get something like, there we go, like this. Nope, not even that. Oh, I'm showing off my skills big time here. Okay, so if I get something like this, then it's not quite what I need yet, because really I'm kind of wanting the first 4 corners at the very start. So if I just see this, like L right here basically, then it's like, okay, well I can do this particular thing, and it's going to actually put the 4th corner on there, had all the rest of it been in position to do so. So it'd be like that. Then from that point, it's even if it's just the four corners, so if let's say this one wasn't there, so if it's just the four corners, then it's like, okay, I have to do this particular move, then I get to this point. But when I do that particular move, I have gotten into the habit of having the sides look like this. So I'll have this up top, this would be up here, and then on the sides it'll be like that, and then okay, so I go ahead and do that algorithm, which obviously it's not going to return the same thing here, but that'd be kind of funny if it did, if it were all solved yellow. But I do that. So now the top is solved. Well, now, so the bottom two layers are solved, the very bottom layer is solved, the top layer is solved. Now these are all over the place. Ideally what I would want is these two corners to match. But if that doesn't happen, then all the way around, then I have to do XYZ things. A lot of times what will happen is at least one pair will be solved. So then I put that pair with its side, with its color. So anyways, this is where it really comes down to luck, because the first two layers, even the first layer could be, it could take me like 30 seconds to even get there. And then the rest of it is just kind of random as well. But those are the challenges at the end, especially. You get to the longer algorithms, and I really only know one for each situation. It's just like, okay, if this happens, then you do this algorithm, and you may have to do it once or twice. Generally it's twice is the max. But for solving the second layer, since I'm still kind of doing the beginner thing, so I solved the bottom, then I solved this. Well, I solved the bottom and this layer at the same time. Then I solved the second layer. That second layer is really where I'm losing all the time. So if I get some good luck there, and that second layer happens to be solved pretty quick, and then the rest of it isn't too rough as well, I don't have to do a bunch of algorithms, like especially for the top, the yellow. Then again, it kind of just comes down to luck, but I would still have solved it under a minute. So all right, sorry there was a long time between my last attempt and this, but here we go. All right. No. Come on. Gosh. That was rough. Oh my gosh, it did it again. It just got stuck and it won't turn. Dang it. Felt like I was in good shape there, but it keeps happening. I didn't do nothing. Okay. Alrighty. Maybe one more if I'm lucky. I am lucky. Cool. See, I'm already over the possibility of getting that, unfortunately. Okay. Whew. So again, the first two layers, and I can say when I'm through, I can be like, okay, cool, first layer done, second layer done. I can do that in front more runs, because it may even help to talk out loud, or to watch these back and be like, okay, this is where I was at this time. So when I was done with the second layer, the rest of it was cake, because I already had the cross up top on the yellow. This was already there, so that means I can just go into the next algorithm. So I think I had to do that particular algorithm twice. So I did once to get this, and then I did it again to get the whole solid thing. And then instead of having to do a really long algorithm to get the corners to match, I only had to do one to... Okay, so to place this in the correct position, basically. So this needed to go here, this needed to go here, and this needed to go there. So I just had to do one, just one algorithm to get that. And then I was good to go. So the reason it was 110 is because once I finished with the second layer, it's like, okay, this is all I have to do. So really, I want an in kind of like that, but then a faster second layer. First and second layer, I should say, because that first layer was actually kind of rough on that one as well. Yeah. Reset that. Good to go. All right. I don't even know how many tries that is in this thing. I'm trying not to do any timer starts. So I think it was maybe 222 or something like that. It's only like 4 solves. I don't want to do too many, but I mean, I'll do kind of as many as it takes. Also, I might start talking a little bit less between them and just kind of do one, mix it up, and go into the next one. But talking actually is good just for a little bit of rest between them. So I'm not just running the whole time. All right, here we go. There. Okay. All right, first layer, that was pretty good. Pretty fortunate there. Oh crap. Sometimes when you're on that second layer, I'll explain what just happened there. That was annoying. Yeah. I need that to not happen so I can have a good chance. Or I just need to like recognize it sooner when it does. And thought it happened again. Okay, second layer's good. Top layer's good, so I can just go into the algorithms, which I'll have to do a few times. Top solved. Get that one there, and here we go. Went the wrong way. Darn it. That would have been like 2 or 3 seconds faster if I hadn't gone the wrong way, but oh well. I feel like I'm not terribly far off from it. That's kind of why I'm filming. That's why I'm doing this fun little video. And for anybody who has watched it to this point, thank you. If you just skip forward to the solve, that's fine too. To the solve, that is good. All right, we're just gonna keep going. My fingers are a bit tired, but alright. Kind of trying to even it out a little bit before I go. Alright, timer's reset. I always like to wait until after I scramble to reset the timer. That way I can make sure that it is on there. So if I accidentally click off of it and I don't stop the timer, and because of that I don't get kind of a quote-unquote official under minute solve, like I'd be upset. So here we go. There we go. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That was a dream start, but then you got so lost. Okay, here we go. Goodness gracious. Yeah, cool. No. This is pretty rough. Alright, first layer there. I wish the second layer was a little more like consistent, I guess. I don't know. Oh no. Dang it. So what happened to me on that one was every now and then you'll get to like the point where the top is solved and then the corners match, but every single one of these is in the wrong position. Like you normally want to have one entirely solved. So you have to do basically the algorithm that I did to get one solved, then I have to figure out which side was solved and then face that one away from me and then do it again. So the bad thing is that I keep expecting to find the one that's solved, and so I look at all four sides and I was like, oh darn, none of them are actually solved. So that's unfortunate, but was a little overtime anyhow. Again, having to do it again didn't add too much, maybe 5 seconds or so. The really rough thing on that one is that I was in such a good shape at the start and then just got completely lost. Probably spent 10 seconds looking for that. So then the second layer, as I mentioned, it's the most troublesome. Like a good second layer is kind of going to initially make or break the potential for a good ending. Because really also, when you're done with the second layer, the top is already decided. Like the yellow layer is already, it's going to be what it is, or it is what it's going to be already. So depending on how that second layer went, includes what the top layer ends up like once it's solved. So if it's beneficial, then it saves a lot of time. I'm confident that I can get under a minute. I just kind of need to look. So. All right, here we go. Okay. Come on. Yeah. Yeah, let's go. Oh, I started to notice that one was going to be good. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. Oh man, I got so lucky. I knew I was going to get lucky. I knew it. Oh my gosh, that is a massive, very unexpected PB. Holy cow. It did land a little SQ. I don't think I'd have lost anything in an official thing for that. But I got so excited on the last move. I was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna happen. Let's go. I didn't even know what the time was. I just knew it was super fast. Oh man, that's awesome. I'm thrilled. Oh my gosh, that's insane. I did have a pretty decent what do you call it? Second thing. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Second layer was insane. Oh man. Here, I'm gonna change my PR on here for future times. I can take that 1 minute out, dude. 49.98. That's like, if I could do that consistently with these strats, it's all I would ever need to learn. I don't need to do it in less than 10 seconds. I'd be thrilled with under a minute if I could do that every time. But I don't know. I'm wanting something to dip into during these crazy times, so this is kind of a pretty fun thing to do. I'm kind of reeling right now. That's absurd that I PB'd by that much. 11.8 seconds faster than my previous ever. 10 seconds faster than my goal. My goal was only for less than 1 minute. So I'm under 50 seconds now. That's absurd. I mean, who knows how long it'll be until I even get a sub in the 50s. But this has been a 31 minute video already. Lot of talking and not very many attempts. It took me 7 attempts to get that. So I knew I was ready for it, and I wanted to go ahead and film the moment it happened, my very first sub 1. So I will share it. I'll upload it to YouTube. I'll spam it around Twitch a little bit with my my friends, my contacts. If anybody else happens to come across it, welcome, I guess. Check out my GoldenEye PBs if you've not played GoldenEye ever. I speedrun that, and that's a lot of fun. And then my Twitch channel is HenryZed, all together, of course. So I try to stream. It's a situation I'm in right now. The reason I'm recording this as opposed to streaming it is that my apartment in particular, I think it's mine specifically, or perhaps even this whole building, there's an issue that makes the upload speed intermittent. So I have amazing download speed. It's usually around 400, which is what I pay for, and it genuinely is that fast. But the upload speed will be anywhere from, I kid you not, about half of a megabyte, like 0.5 to 30 something. But regardless of what it is, it's not actually performing to what it says it is. Granted, when it says it's only 1 megabyte, it's like, okay, this is pretty much what I'd expect for 1 megabyte. But even when it says it's 30, it's still performing like it's basically 1. So streaming's kind of rough, but I try to do it every now and then. I'm just trying to do like RTA runs mostly for GoldenEye, and just hang out with some fellas, hang out with some mates. There's an awesome community of GoldenEye people. So again, if any like Rubik's Cubers happen to come across this video and they're like what is this? This is a big deal for me. Again, I learned 8 days ago, and yeah, I'm already to this point. I'm already to a sub minute, and just blew my PB out of the water on that. So now I know I have to go into some more intense algorithms. I have to do a lot more learning to be able to get faster speed, lower speeds. And as mentioned, this is a Rubik's brand cube, so not exactly friendly for going fast. I have a more proper cube in the mail. I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember the name of it, but it's actually stickerless, so it'll look a lot different than this one too. Really good reviews. It was only $5, but really good budget cube. I think it's a Moshang. It's a 3FRS. I'm saying that wrong, but hopefully you knew what I meant. Alright, so I'm gonna wrap this up. Again, thanks so much for watching. If you have watched all of it, or if you just came for the solve and then you kind of hung out for a little bit afterwards, I appreciate everything. And I'm gonna go ahead and stop this, and I'll see you next time. Hopefully on a stream, or maybe I'll upload a video going for, I don't know, sub 45 with more advanced strats, or even sub 30 sometime soon. We'll see. Alright, thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye.